Hey, welcome back everybody. Once again, Matthew Waddy's channel. Today I am continuing on with my second review video for Monday. Today's the 29th, so this video will probably be posted, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday. It depends on what other videos I want to put out ahead of this one. So the last review video, we took a look at the 5 figures that just come in from Series 3 of the Heels and Faces of Zombie Sailor figures. So initially, I wanted to take a look at the figure collection figures, the most recent Hasbro style figures from the figure collection website, but that Heels of Faces video took a lot longer than expected, even though we didn't have an opportunity to take a look at the loose figures. All we had was carded. Same thing with this video. 3 figures, they're all the exact same character. All we're looking at is a paint change. So the character himself, I don't know anything about him. And a lot of the time when I buy these figures, it's true. I don't know anything about the characters. A lot of these modern day wrestlers, I will buy the figures because, well, I've established this wrestling collection and I want to keep it strong. That's one thing. 2, I've always said that even if I don't know anything about a particular character, a good action figure is a good action figure. And these are, and anything that's Hasbro or Hasbro style, you pretty much know I'm going to go for, because Hasbro is my absolute favorite toy line, right? Now, I didn't know anything about Hasbro as a kid. It's not like I was going around calling them Hasbros when I was young. In fact, I didn't even know that they were made by Hasbro until probably 2020 something, probably 2021. So, but seeing all these companies, even in the early 90s, bootleg figures, and you seen that trend continue on into the 2010s and then into the 2020s with all of these different companies manufacturing Hasbro-esque figures. Why? Because the figures of the 1990s were just so freaking popular, man. You have a couple of different major toy companies out there recreating 1980s LJN rubber figures. But there's a reason why it's Hasbro that people are coveting. There's not a more popular or more coveted toy line than the Hasbro action figures. They were smaller, so you know what? Who you're dealing with? You're dealing with small kids, right? Small kids, small body, small hands. So these little 4-inch figures are so much easier for a small kid to actually be able to grip and actually play with. The 8-inch figures, as an adult, I would almost have trouble gripping them and wrestling them. So I can only imagine how I would have felt if I were like 5 years old, 6, 7, 8 years old trying to wrestle those guys. But I never had LJNs as a kid. In fact, I probably never even knew of the LJNs. I never knew about the LJN figures, 8-inch figures, probably until like 2021, maybe 2020, something like that. Now, I can't say I didn't know about LJN. If you had asked me who LJN was, I would have looked at you like you're crazy. I don't know. But I had all of these different wrestling games like WrestleMania and the Steel Cage match and stuff like that. So LJN produced all these different wrestling games, and we had all those Nintendo games from childhood. So you would think that I would have some kind of knowledge of LJN. But anyways, figure collections. Figure collections have actually impressed me twofold. Not only have they created their own brand of Hasbro style action figures, but they've even created their own bone crunching style action figures. And you guys already know, I've said it before a million times, I despised the bone crunching action figures. I thought that Jakks Pacific, and I still say it, I think Jakks Pacific created possibly the worst action figures ever made. Their figures are just so ugly and just terrible. I was never a freaking fan. And I didn't know about these as a kid. Once what was it, like 1995, let's say? I think around by 1995, I was done with play with action figures, with toys and whatnot. Maybe even before then, but I'm going to say 95. Sounds about right. So all these other figures that come out over the years, I never knew about them. I mean, I'm only learning about a lot of these toy lines as an adult collector over these last few years. And the Bone Crunchers and pretty much anything like Stomp and WrestleMania and just all these different figures made by Jakks Pacific, trash. Straight garbage. Horrible. Some of the ugliest looking figures ever. But figure collection, they've come out with like Blue Meanie, and they've come out with like Atom Bomb, and they've had these bone crunching figures, and I've acquired them because I'm trying to build on my figure collection, and I'm like, damn, these things are freaking amazing. The rubber is spot on. The figures look fantastic. Great characters, great design. Overall look was the quality was impeccable. And I all of a sudden fell in love with these bone crunching figures. And so that gave me a new appreciation for the Jakks Pacific figures. And so I actually went out and bought a ton of Jakks Pacific bone crunching figures. Am I going to start collecting this whole line? No. There's probably how many? Hundreds of those figures? No. I have no intention on doing that. And plus, space, it can't happen. I just don't have the ability. And so when it comes to the figure collection, I first learned about them on eBay. I bought from them numerous amount of times over the last, I don't know, year and a half or so. 2 years? I don't know. I don't know how long I've been buying from them. But in the past, anytime I purchased from them, it was always Cello Toys. I've always bought Cello Toys from them. So, and then later on, I kind of learned that they created their own brand of action figures, the Wrestle Something Wrestlers, and they let me know that they had their own store name, the figure collection website, and so sometimes I will buy from them off of eBay, other times I will purchase their figures from them directly off of their website, and it's probably better that way because sometimes it's actually more affordable. You're not paying all this additional fees and everything, and the business isn't losing money by going through eBay. So, and I believe shipping is free either way. Whether you go off eBay or the figure collection website, you're still getting free shipping. So that's a huge bonus. These figures are incredible. They're carded. I think altogether for the set of 3, I think it was like $100. So with free shipping, I think it came out to be like $105 or something like that. So I think that's an extremely reasonable price for Hasbro style mint on card figures. The carding is incredible. The look is insane. Who are we talking about? Well, we're talking about a wrestler named Colt Cabana. Now, Colt Cabana, I don't know who the heck that is, to be honest. I've said it before. Not every person, every wrestler that I collect, I'm going to know anything about. I don't care about the wrestler majority of the time. It's about collecting. It's about it's about building on the collection. It's also about finding that action figure that speaks to you. And these figures are absolutely insane. So, who do we have upstairs? I'm trying to remember some of the ones that we have already. Green. I'm trying to think of her name. Actually, is it on the back of the card here? Chelsea Green. We have Chelsea Green. We have Effie. And we have both of the headbangers. What's that guy's name? Moss and Thrasher. So the headbangers, Effie and Chelsea Green, we've already got them on card. Chelsea Green has like 2 or 3 different variants. Effie has a couple different variants. Headbangers has a couple different variants. So that's the one bad thing that Cello Toys, I didn't like about Cello Toys, and with figure collection and Wrestle Something Wrestling, they're doing the same thing a lot with these figures, is that they're creating these awesome, amazing figures, but they're constantly releasing the same exact figures in different paint. Me being the obsessive, I gotta have every variant collector. It's very costly. And when you also factor in that it's not just about collecting every variant carded as a mint on card collector, I also want them loose. When I do these reviews, I want to have the loose figures because it's important to be able to show you something, to show you the movement of the figure, to show you the back of the figure and everything like that. So I didn't buy a second set. So I just wanted to get the first set in and kind of go from there. But the cards feel like I don't know if any guys out there collect original San Francisco toy makers. OSFTM has, in my opinion, some of the best card backing because the card backs are extremely thick, like nice hard cardboard, and Wrestle Something Wrestlers have the same thing, very nice thick hard card backing. Something like Hasbro, they're I don't want to say that their card backs are flimsy, but they're very thin. Even LJN with a big thick 2-pound rubber action figures, even those things aren't the thickest ever, but these are solid. The graphics and the artwork on the figures are amazing, and the design. You're not going to be able to get every intricate detail while stationed inside the bubble, but you'll get a pretty good idea. If you guys get on eBay and you see that figure collection, definitely check them out. They're pretty awesome. Or if you just want to type in figure collection into the search engine, it should take you directly to their website. So that's one variant. They also came out with variant number 2, which is incredibly solid. I also like the fact that when you're looking at the figures, they also changed the picture of the picture on each of the cards as well. So that's a nice change as well. Sometimes you'll see these variant changes where they change the action figure color, but the main photograph, stock photo, will always remain the same. But here, nope. They actually do nice changes in between the action figures, so that's a nice little upgrade there as well. So from the figure collection, Colt Cabana, all 3 of his variants, and yes, I do want to get these 3 figures once again as loose individual. Actually, from time to time, the figure collection website, and when I say the website, I'm either talking about their direct website or eBay. It doesn't matter which one. They will actually sell bundles of their figures loose, so they don't always sell them on card. So you do have the option to actually buy them as loose figures as well. So that's what I'm waiting on. I'm hoping to find them where you can get them loose. So maybe I can get them for a better price. If I can get them for like $75, 25 a piece, as opposed to 33 a piece on card. That's something. What I've been doing is all of these duplicates I've been buying. Now, whether it's like the Funko 5.5 Motu style figures I've been purchasing, whether they're horror, the Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, the Primal Age DC Universe, something like that, whether it's figure collection, whether it's zombie sailors or grapplers and gimmicks, whether it's Hasbro, no, maybe not Hasbro, but pretty much any of my action figures that I have to buy, or it's a NECA Tootie Terrors is another one. I buy a bunch of, because why? I want loose figures for my display to go along with the card figures. So I save the card backs in bubble, and I try to be very careful when I open up the bubble so that I'm not damaging everything, in case I ever need to put it back in and kind of make it mint on card again, or as much as mint on card as I can. Because we've seen how Hasbro and LJN cards and bubbles sell today. And are these things ever going to be valuable in the future? I don't know. I've got a thing on my eBay where I've got like 20 random cards and bubbles listed for like $5 and $10, and they get like no views. So, and we're talking like Andre the Giant zombie sailors, Bash and Booger zombie sailors, Mabel and Mo grapplers gimmicks, card backs and stuff like that. So you would think that someone out there is interested in stuff like that, but I can't even get it gone for $5. So, and I would obviously like a whole lot more than that, but so I am saving that stuff in hopes that one day these card backs and bubbles will be worth something. And with that being said, if I would pay $25 for a loose figure, should I just not spend an additional $8 and buy the carded figure and save the card and bubble, and hopefully one day in the future it'd be worth a little bit more, where I could probably sell it for twice or more, 10 times more. Who knows? But I can't think that far ahead. If it does ever get to that point where those are going to be worth money, you're probably talking years, maybe even decades down the road. And by that point, I want that stuff gone, you know? To me, that's just extra space that's being taken up that I want to clear out. So I'm more about earning the quick buck now than having to wait 10, 20 years to get a bigger payout. That may not ever happen. Alright, what time we at? Well, almost 15 minutes. And with only 3 figures to look at, I try to talk as much as I could in this video because I wanted to make the video a lot longer than a 5-minute video, which I felt like it would have been if I had just looked at only that one, if I just looked at just the figures and just stopped. So, but that is it for now, guys. As always, thank you so much for checking out the video. And if you have any questions, comments, definitely feel free to reach out. And until next time, thank you, everybody.